Say it to my face. You want to start with something like that?
Like it's a Facebook fight?
Like it's a Facebook fight. So breaking news for everybody. Project Sting Infiltration is in full effect.
Oh yeah.
It is all systems go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all systems slow.
Yeah, it wasn't all systems.
Write that down.
It wasn't all systems go for a little bit because I may or may not have disabled features of my car temporarily. So it was half the systems go and half the systems not available.
So if you've been living under a rock, let's get you up to speed. Nick has been looking for a car, and he's been doing it the responsible way. He's been shopping the market. He's been considering his options. He's been weighing out the pros, the cons. Not like me, where I see something shiny and I'm like, oop, done, sign here, got it, here you go.
Well,
he's been cool, calm, collected, calculated.
To be fair, I am very much the way you are. There are a lot of cars I saw along the way where I was like, I have to have that. But I know myself, and I know if I wait about 2 weeks, if I can stand it for 2 weeks, the urge will go away. So I was able to not put myself in a position I didn't need to be in or couldn't afford to be in because I forced myself to wait. But then I didn't.
Right. So what'd you get, Nick? Tell him.
I got a 2018 Mustang GT Premium.
5.0 for everybody else out there.
Yeah.
5.0.
The 5.0.
The 5.0.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the best part about all of this. Nick's going to tell you what's great about the car in just a second. I'm going to tell you what's really fantastic. Okay? This guy going from what he was in to being in a big block V8 like the rest of us. Listen, it was like, here I'm gonna summarize my week via text messages in the order in which they were received. It was like, I think I'm gonna do this. I think this is happening. Check this thing out. Insert pictures there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it. I got the car. This thing is badass. This thing has drag mode and track mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting gas already. This thing is so badass. This thing needs gas again.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Drag mode is so badass. Dude, there's this thing called MyKey, and it allows you to customize the vehicle setup. Holy shit, I deleted drag mode.
And then I need gas again.
2 minutes late. I need to get gas again.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of gas over the last week and a half or so. So the MyKey thing, right? You look it up in the manual, you look online, and it just says like, oh, it'll adjust your seat and remember your AC settings and all that shit, right? So I'm like, cool, I'll go ahead and do it. So the seat will move and get where I want it and everything. I do it, don't think much of it. Nothing changes visually. The later that day, I'm taking someone for a ride, and I'm like, I'm going to put this thing in track mode and punch it, right? I'm like, where the fuck is track mode? So I'm like, my gas light's on, actually, at that point, and I'm thinking, right. Oh, that's nice. I'm thinking, we were all the way to the gas station, by the way. I'm thinking, that's cool. It disables track mode and probably drag mode and stuff when your gas light's on, so you're not, running out of gas. Not the case. MyKey literally seemingly did nothing other than limit the volume of the radio, get rid of track mode, get rid of drag mode, block Sirius XM channels because of their adult content. I couldn't put on the Howard Stern channel because I didn't have an admin key. Meanwhile, I only had one key from the dealership. I was waiting to get the second key, so I couldn't even erase the stupid MyKey for over a week. I just got the other key today, and I was able to go in and put it in drag mode and do line lock in a parking lot. But the goddamn MyKey thing. If you have a Ford, don't do the MyKey. Just word of advice.
Guys, honestly, it was the best week of my life because he was an emotional roller coaster. He was excited. Holy crap, I got a Mustang. And then he was down in the dumps. Oh my God, I'm at the gas pump. And then he was excited. Holy shit, it's got drag mode. And then he was down in the dumps. So just fucking gas this thing up 2 days ago. It's been an adventure for both of us.
Hey, I filled it up this morning on my way to work, right? I was 2 blocks from the office, topped it off. As it sits right now in the garage, I've used a quarter tank of gas today.
No one listening to this podcast is laughing.
I know. I'm laughing because I don't want to cry.
Right.
It's expensive.
No, so all bullshit aside, we joke, and he is our favorite person to make fun of. But this thing is badass. It really is. He brought it over to the house, and I mean, he immediately, by the way, came out of the gates hot, making waves with people because 80% of our followers are Mopar guys and girls. And this guy goes to the dark side and he gets a Ford and has no regrets. He just did it. He didn't even feel bad about it. And he's enjoying it, I can tell. And the thing is sick. It really is. I sat in it. The freaking interior is awesome. He's sitting there changing the lights on the car. You know, we spend a bunch of money changing our lights on our Mopars. And Nick just like clicks a button and like the whole car's red and then the whole car's blue and then the whole car's not got drag mode anymore. And then
yeah, that's true. It is true. Yeah, no, I really like the car a lot. You know, gas mileage aside, although I gotta be honest, I'm averaging 23 miles a gallon. I've got the little trip meter up and every time I get gas, I reset it. That's not bad.
You no longer average miles a gallon, buddy. You average smiles per gallon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing that's nice too, because my last car was embarrassingly slow. But it is nice when you're in traffic and you see these little idiots like weaving around through traffic thinking they're all bad. And I just kind of look at them and laugh. Or if I'm trying to merge or do whatever, you know, just kind of get on it. It's fun. It's good stuff.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. You get like traffic friends. You never meet them. You just like, but because you drive the same route every day going to and from work, you see the same car and it's like your buddies. But that's actually how I met Charles Crocker. Fun fact, if people didn't know that, I was driving to work, minding my own P's and Q's, and here comes this freaking snot green Scat Pack next. Wah, 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 just freaking like revving, taking off, rolling back on me, taking off again, rolling back. I'm like, this guy, we have the same freaking engine. Like, what are we going to do here? And we went, right? We didn't wait, just like Nick buying a Ford. We just fucking went for it. We did it. And we took off, and I chased his little ass all the way back to Tire Outlet and introduced myself. So that's how Charles and I met. So it does happen.
And then you did that to, who was it, Darius? Lived in your parents' neighborhood?
No, that was different. It started.
It was similar. It was kind of similar.
It started off the same, and it started off very friendly. See, Darius has an older Daytona. And it's orange. In fact, the color back then was also called Go Mango. It was just very different. So I would see Darius all the time, and it's like, hey, you have a Daytona, I have a Daytona, and Daytonas don't have a cool Jeep wave like the Jeep crowd does. So what do? I just rev my engine out and flash my lights. And he never did it back because it's not a thing. It was just something I was doing. And so then it slowly turned into me bullying him. So then I'm at my sister's house one day, and I find out Darius lives in my sister's neighborhood because I see that same Daytona again. So then it just turned into me doing burnouts in front of his house and revving my engine. And then he would Facebook message me like a middle finger and a laughing emoji and stuff like that. So I don't know. The me and Darius thing, it started off very friendly, and it quickly turned to like me bullying him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I miss that guy.
Yeah.
Miss that guy.
He hasn't come out to an event in a while. Darius, come out to an event.
So one last thing on your Mustang, which, by the way, he's been really excited. It's so exciting to see Nick excited about it because we just placed a ridiculous order on vinyl, getting things ready for Key West, and Nick's bringing his own car, getting his own vinyl. This is exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so we're cool to see how that's going to turn out because we're going to do something different with his car too. I will say this, and I'm not picking on you. I have to say it though, because this is your go-to when you want to give people shit. And Mustang crowd, I'm asking and poking. Skinny little bitch tires.
Yeah. So they really are. And they're the ones that it came with. Because when you and I were looking at it, when I was over at your house, you're like, you think someone swapped wheels and tires before they
thought
traded
for
it in?
sure. I'm like, someone duped my boy for sure. I thought they went to go trade it in, and I bet you anything they're in a little Mustang club, and they thought someone with a V6 was like, "Wait, trade me wheels first," and I thought Nick got shafted.
Yeah, no, there's 3 different wheel options and tire size options for those cars, and they're what 235, 50, 18. Is that what they were?
Yep.
So yeah, they're not very wide or very big. Here's the thing. Here's what I realized though: the Mustang in general is like 10 inches shorter than your car, and way, John, way lighter.
Yeah,
significantly lighter.
Well,
Granted, you've got
in your neighborhood.
Granted, you've got a Hellcat, so it's got a ton more power. But even the Daytona, way lighter. So I've not had the same issues that
he's tough. He's real tough.
That you guys have.
By the way, so how many minutes into this are we?
11, 12?
11 or 12 minutes into this. Have you guys noticed this? It's an octave thing and it's a tempo thing. This new Nick. This is new Nick.
Oh no, that's because my wife and kids aren't home, so I'm actually able to talk.
No. I'm
not trying to whisper and be quiet.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to new Nick.
Mm-hmm.
So
just wait till the next podcast when my kid's sleeping in the room next to me. I'll be talking like this again, trying to not wake anybody up.
No. New Nick is here to stay with a new car. So we need to start peer pressuring Nick to get some beefy wheels, because here's the thing: that fastback has a beefy rear end on it, and it flares out. Its hips don't lie.
Yeah, that thing's got a fat ass on it. There's no doubt about it.
Dude, from now on, in fact, new rule: whenever you post a picture of your car to the Genesis Rally page, you have to use hashtag hips don't lie.
I'm not doing that.
I'll do it for you. I'm going to edit all of his posts.
Okay.
So, anyways, we have to peer pressure Nick into getting some beefy tires.
Here's the thing. That's not going to happen until I need new tires, because old Nick here now has a car payment when Nick didn't have a car payment.
You just said old Nick. It's new Nick.
New Nick now has a car payment when old Nick didn't, and I got to see what life with a car payment's like again. And I'm certainly not going to go spend $1,000 on tires just because.
All right, hey, new guy. Enough about you. All right. So, I also did a thing 2 weeks ago. So the cat's kind of out of the bag. You can see I posted about it and everything, but the Daytona is no more. I had a daily driver that I was using at my job, and the Daytona was just sitting in the garage, and I would take it out for funsies and on rallies and stuff. And I didn't need 3 vehicles anymore. So I'm like, I'm going to go back to daily driving the Daytona. So I go and I sell the Cadillac. And where I sold the Cadillac at the dealership, they made an offer on my Daytona, and I took it. And then, picture, if you will, you're standing there with 2 checks and no car. What would you do? I was a victim. I was alone. I was cold. I didn't know what to do. So I bought a car. And I got a 2-door rather than a 4-door. And I beefed it up, and I got a Hellcat. My wife has a minivan. My kids never ride with me anywhere. I don't need 4 doors. I've always liked the Challenger. And now I have a Chally Hellcat. It's true.
And the best part about the whole thing
is I didn't delete fucking drag mode.
Well, no, is that I won the day when you got the Hellcat, because John. So John calls me in the morning, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, they're trying to make me a deal on this fucking Hellcat, and I don't, it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, and they want to pull my credit and stuff. And I said,
well, hang on. So back up. I got a car in October, my daily driver. And I learned, I didn't know this, and neither did you, by the way. I was in a situation where I was able to, at the time, just pay for the car outright. And I wrote a check for it. Even if you pay cash for a car, they still have to run your credit. I did not know that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, and they're trying to get me into this Hellcat. They're like showing me different Hellcats they have and prices, and we're talking numbers over text message, and they're like, yeah, let's just run your credit and see what we can do. And I'm like, no. I haven't even seen the car. The car was at a different dealership. I'm like, I haven't even laid eyes on it. You're not running my credit. To which Nick says,
they're going to run your credit by the end of the day. undoubtedly your credit's going to get pulled. And you're
Nick
like,
said before,
no.
Nick said before the day is done, this man will have his credit pulled. I said, get the fuck out of here. I haven't even seen the vehicle yet.
Yeah. And then the response you got back to the dealership when you said, I haven't seen the vehicle yet. They were like, you've got an appointment at 1. And you're like, okay, well, I'll be there at 1.
So just looking, still owning the Daytona. I look at the car, right? I then go radio silent on Nick. I've learned it's best to do that when dealing with anything. So I go radio silent on Nick. Nick gets a text message. What was it? 8 o'clock at night?
Something like that.
8 o'clock at night. I send Nick a text with 2 red keys and a black key. And not congratulations, not good for you, not that's fucking awesome, not which one did you get. This fucking guy responds to me and he goes, I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it. I told you they were going to pull your credit before the end of the day. You are such a loser.
It's true. I won the day.
Somehow, even when I buy a Hellcat, Nick's the winner.
Yeah. And by the way, and most people probably don't know, but when you bought the Daytona, you had a deal on a car that fell through for whatever reason, and then
well, the car was in another city, and they were like, "We're moving it," and it never. I don't know. It was dumb.
Either way, the deal didn't work out, and then the next day or two, you were back at the dealership and you were looking at the Daytona, and when you're negotiating for the car, I was relentlessly sending you memes and everything saying you're wasting everyone's time. So
yeah, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, you've never been so offended to buy 2 cars.
My phone is skipping across the desk with text messages. Okay, so that's why it's best to just go radio silent on Nick. But
yeah,
hey, the guy's a winner. What can I tell you?
Hey, I won the day. I told you they were gonna do it.
So Nick and I both, and none of this was planned. None of this was planned. Nick just found a car, liked it. It was the right car, right price, right time. Same thing. And we both end up getting 2 new badass vehicles within the same week.
Yeah. And really, your deal, just based on what you told me, it wasn't like you were upsold and you were like talked into something crazy. Like you made out okay with that friggin' thing. Like you did pretty damn good.
You could have fooled me with your response. I got to tell you, I felt defeated leaving there going, oh my God, he's right.
He's right. Well, I mean, I won, clearly.
Well, right. Yeah. Oh my God, Nick's the winner here.
Yeah. But no, like it was unplanned.
Oh my God.
It was unplanned that we were going to do, either one of us were going to do anything that week in that, to that kind of regard. But, but yeah.
So I had to get used to that. It came with the god awful. Sorry if anybody from Pirelli is listening. It came with the god-awful Pirelli P0s, 275s. That's the same tire the Daytona came with. It wasn't enough tire on that 392, and it is not enough tire on the Hellcat. So step 1, I get the car late at night, and it's raining. Day 2, it's raining. Day 3, it's sunny, and it's dry, bone dry on the streets, and I'm still all over the road. And I can't get used to this car, and I can't keep the fucking thing straight. So by day 3, it's already on a lift, getting taken care of and getting tires. So it now has 305s on the rear, 11-inch wide rims, not 9.5s on the rear, and it's in the Nitto 555R drag radials that are street legal. So it is now hooking up and better than ever. But I'm excited about it, man. So what do you do when you're in a new car and it finally has tires and it can hook up? You take it to a runway. And we did that. We went on Concours Saturday. It was Saturday up in Amelia for the Concours d'Elegance. We are fortunate enough that we know a certain somebody at a certain location that has a runway with a couple of hangars, and they close it down every Saturday of the Concours d'Elegance every year. And it's by invitation only, and it's a controlled setting. There are rules. You must follow them. Mm-hmm. And we were fortunate enough to be invited out to that. And so there was a small, very small group of us. Michael Kalubowski was out there with his Genesis Rally Hellcat. And he had freaking lime green Genesis Rally decals on it. New ones, by the way. And I cannot get past how much flake is in that guy's paint.
Yeah. You can see it from a pretty good distance away from the car too.
I told Nick, and it was dumb when I said it, but it's still the best way I can think to describe it. Remember in Spencer's, all the trippy posters you can get?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what his car reminds me of. It's like staring into a galaxy because it's this deep, wet black paint with so much glitter in it. I mean, you stare at it and you feel like you're high.
Mm-hmm.
Nick's high right now just hearing about it.
Super, super high.
So Michael was out there. John brought out the Demon, and it was in full beast mode. He trailered the sumbitch out there, and he had all of his tires. He had race fuel. He had everything. He had his full setup because he had his trailer there, which basically is like a little race garage for him. And Kevin with Jam, he was out there with us hanging out. Jessica was out there with the Trackhawk, and holy shit, she drove that thing into the ground. I mean, she must have done 50 pulls that day. And there was McLarens, and there were Porsches, and there were GT350Rs, and there was a Ferrari, and there was probably 6 Vipers and Mustangs. I mean, you name it, Hellcats, Demon, you name it, it was out there. And every time that Trackhawk lined up, I mean, the cell phones went up and people were getting videos and people were commenting, God, she drives the hell out of that thing, doesn't she? And Kevin and I are like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You have not a clue. But there was a group of people, just pedestrians. They didn't have cars, standing at the head of the runway, and they were in line. And one at a time, if you allowed them and permitted them, they were jumping in the car and going on rides down the runway. And Jessica it was like a kid who discovered the slide at the playground. She would just whoop, get back in line, whoop, get back in line, whoop. And every time she had somebody new in the car, and John looked at me and he goes, I don't know where she's finding all these people. And she had no time for us, man. She's like, sorry, I got to go drop this person off and pick somebody else up. But it was just an awesome day, man. The weather was beautiful. It was a safe environment. We got to run the hell out of these cars. And I got to get a good feel for the Hellcat and how to control it and everything, because it's just a whole new level of power that I've never had before. But it was just good people, good weather, good time, good food. I threw some freaking pork shoulder in the smoker the night before, so we were out there having a tailgate on the back of Kevin's truck next to the runway. It was just, what a great day. It really was. There's tons of videos for you guys to see, by the way. The Demon, the Trackhawk, the Hellcat, McLarens. I mean, you name it. There's videos of it. There was a guy out there with like a $425,000 Ford GT. I mean, it was just one of the Vipers out there. I told you this, but one of the Vipers out there holds the land speed record for Viper, and it's like he had a freaking parachute on the back of this thing. He apparently hit 255 miles per hour in half a mile.
That's insanity.
It really is, but it's just a freaking badass day. And you weren't there.
So we'll get into why I wasn't there in just a second, but you didn't tell the story of your first pass.
Holy shit, dude. Nobody believes me, but I have witnesses. So we get out there and the guy's like, hey, here we go. Here's the rules. Here's how we're going to do this. And he's very honest with us. He's like, look, it's a closed runway, right? What's going to happen here is the first 30 minutes, just expect to be cleaning my runway. It's dusty. That's just the game of it. Sorry. It's going to be loose because it's dusty. There's not going to be a ton of traction at first. So just expect that for the first 30 minutes. Well, John and I strategically had to go let air out of our tires, and that takes about 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, to do it accurately. I mean, look, you don't want to do it too fast, and if you get a little too much out, you got to put some back in. I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I get up there about 31 minutes after that announcement, and Jessica had made a few passes. John made probably 2 passes. I mean, but all these other cars, there had to be probably 30, 40 passes in that 30 minutes. So the guy trusts me. I've been back there on that runway before in my Daytona, and the rule at this place is you don't go alone. If you're new, it's your first time, you have to have one of them in the car. These guys race Ferraris for a living, okay? So you have to have one of them in the car with you. They need to make sure you know what you're doing, that you can be trusted. And then once they trust you, then you can start going on your own. There's different color wristbands that day. I get there and he's like, John, you're good. Hey, give him this wristband. I said, I understand that. I appreciate that. I love the respect and the trust, but I just got this car on Tuesday. I want you to ride with me the first couple times. He said, thanks for being honest. Let's do it. He jumps in the car. We get on the runway. He goes, whenever you're ready. I fucking mash the pedal. Hellcat goes a little bit sideways. I let off the pedal, straighten it back out, mash the pedal again. We're taking off. We're going straight down the runway. We get maybe a third of the way down the runway, and the trained professional next to me starts going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So I forget what I'm doing as far as driving, and I'm just looking at him like, what is going on, right? I'm thinking we're going to die. I don't know what he sees, but he sees something bad. And he goes, there are fucking wings on the horizon. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm thinking he's like complimenting my spoiler, and I'm like, yeah, there is.
You're so stupid.
No, straight ahead, there is a freaking aeroplane trying to land, coming right at me on the very runway I'm driving down. And the guy that's with me, he's like, stop, no, wait, go, speed up, no, slow down, go to the right. And we're like, you know that little dance you do on the cereal aisle at the grocery store when there's somebody in front of you and you both go to the right, then you both go to the left, that little awkward dance? I picture that with a Hellcat and an airplane going down this runway. We're trying to get out of each other's way, right? So in the midst of all this, I am not shifting. And the fucking thing bounces off the rev limiter in third gear. Whop, 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 right? So then I go down on the runway, and he goes, you need to turn around. What you're supposed to do is go down the runway and then turn off the runway and return back on a little service road. He goes, you need to spin this around and get me down there right now. I need to get on a radio. So I do that. So people are probably sitting there thinking, who's the new guy bouncing off the rev limiter and now doing a 180 on the runway and now going in the opposite direction? And John started to get a video of this and stopped recording because he knew something was wrong, but he didn't know what. So we knew about this airplane before anybody else did. And nobody believes me. It scared the shit out of me.
Basically, that whole story, all I heard was you once again missed a shift in an automatic vehicle.
Yeah. It scared the hell out of me.
I bet. Yeah. I mean, you're trying to focus on not crashing and you're hauling ass, and all of a sudden someone starts yelling, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. An airplane. Yeah. I would think it would be a little,
like, it's one thing when you're in the car with me and you start yelling, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm like, you're just being a little bitch. You're just being dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing when it's like a professional driver saying, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. If anyone gets it, it's me.
Because if it scares him,
yeah,
it's going to make me poop.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he had told us previously of a story of, 2 years ago or so when an exotic car crashed out there. And so
a Ferrari went right off the back of the runway.
Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of got to wonder, what's he saying oh shit about? Am I about to do the same thing? Is the runway not as long as I think it is?
Right. So one more thing about the runway is while we were out there, so again, John has this whole setup, like the race fuel and all that stuff. I did a Facebook Live, if you saw it. I was sitting in the passenger seat of the Demon, and I was going on a little Demon ride, and we're sitting in line waiting to pull onto the runway. And like the second I started this Facebook Live, I'm thinking people are going to love this. Here I am sitting in a Demon. We're in line behind like a Viper, 3 Porsches, like a McLaren. Like, we're about to go down this runway. Like, what a cool video. What a cool opportunity. People are going to love this. And the video starts, and you hear, bing. And you hear John start laughing, going, it's my gaslight. So we had to make that run and then go back to the trailer and put more fuel in the car. It was just really fun. It was a great day, but I had to say that because you started this podcast off with how many times you've had to gas up the Mustang.
Yeah. Listen, John and I, we have the same gas issues, same size engines and everything, no big deal.
Yeah.
So I was not at the runway event because I had to go down to Central Florida to work on this house that we were upside down in and rented, and now we're going to sell. But so long story short, while I'm there doing stuff, I was hanging a fan. I forgot to put this stupid little cosmetic piece on the fan. and I thought I'm gonna take it down, put the fan up the right way. So I took the fan down. As I'm holding the fan, blades on and all, right? Blades sticking all over the place. My left hand's holding the fan. Right hand, I got a drill with a flathead bit on it. I put it on the screw. I hit the throttle or the button on the drill. It slips off, and the drill bit goes right through my thumbnail, straight into the fleshy part of the thumb. John, have you ever had pain so bad that you get nauseous like immediately?
Some of your text messages make me feel that way.
Well, just imagine that, but pain form. It freaking hurt like hell. Oddly enough, today, nothing. It's like nothing ever happened.
No nausea today.
No pain.
Bless your heart.
I know. Well, bless his heart. So anyway, so that's what I was doing. You were having fun at a freaking runway. I was pressure washing and doing electrical work and injuring myself the best I could.
Yeah.
It freaking sucks.
Well, it was awesome. So we're gonna wrap this thing up. But another thing, if you go to our page and take a look, Nick doesn't have video of his, but we got the cars ceramic coated from Atlantic Coastal Detailing. So we knew that Harry offered this with Atlantic Coastal Detailing. We never took advantage of it. It's one of the services you can get from him, and he's detailed the cars before, and he's always taken good care of everybody that's part of Genesis Rally. But we both decided we got these new cars. We're going to ceramic coat them because we know we're going to drive the hell out of these things. And the results are unbelievable. Nick posted a video. His looks like a freaking mirror.
It does. It's really, really impressive.
It actually, it looks like chrome. Remember that fad when people were wrapping their cars in chrome?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. It really does. It's pretty, I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah. And I got mine done, and it looks awesome. And just driving this week, I'm literally watching pollen just fly off the car. It's nothing sticking to it. It's amazing. So he's coming out again this Saturday, and he's going to detail both the cars and just kind of do a checkup on them and make sure that everything is set, and then we'll be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else?
No, that's it for me.
All right, Keys of Paradise is 23 days away. This is an awesome week because registration is closed, and we have canvas artwork of all of these cars that are showing up at my house, and we have all these hats being delivered. There's just a bunch of cool stuff going on. We got wristbands coming next week. So this is just an exciting time because it's reminding me every single day that we are one day closer to freaking Rally Week.